On Wednesday his government endorsed a bill to fast-track through Parliament the biggest shake-up of France's debt-ridden railways since they were nationalized in 1930s. It's like putting a pistol to our heads and saying, "Let's talk," Philippe Martinez, leader of the CGT union, said. Elected on a promise to transform France and backed by a commanding majority in Parliament, Macron has tackled at a relentless pace issues long considered sacred cows: protective labor laws, the bloated public sector, schools, and now the state-run SNCF railways. French unions are weaker and more divided than in 1995, and public support for strikes is less ardent than it once was. And while the unions have threatened action over his plans to transform the SNCF into a profit maker and prepare it for foreign competition in 2020, Macron has the public on his side. One recent poll showed 2 in every 3 French people backed contracts for rail workers that would no longer guarantee a job for life and early retirement. Laurent Berger, head of the moderate CFDT, France's largest union, told Europe 1 Radio, "Either we chose confrontation between a camp in favor of the status quo versus the camp of we start from scratch, or we chose the path of negotiation and we find a way forward." Changing times. Rail workers have threatened to strike on March 22, the same day that several public sector unions plan a walkout. The weeks ahead will be a test of their support, after they failed to mobilize nationwide protests to alter the government's course on making it easier to hire and fire workers. Beyond the SNCF, there doesn't seem to be a mass desire to take to the streets, Jean-Claude Milly, leader of the Force Ouvrière Union, told France Inter Radio. As with Sarkozy at that time, Macron's intent to take on unions has drawn comparisons with Margaret Thatcher, the British Prime Minister who challenged mining unions in the 1980s. She won, and unions in Britain never recovered their might. It is not implausible either that they share the view of intermediary bodies, unions, more as hurdles than as stepping stones, that they saw their ability to bypass them as a measure of political courage.